I think it's going to be really like all the things are going to be everything's just going to be different. There's going to be what we have now, but better and more advanced, and lots of new things like maybe invisibility cloaks, and scientists will be reaching out for a lot of new things, trying to make new experiments, thinking about maybe cures for illnesses like cancer and AIDS, and maybe cures like that will be easy to. Maybe things like that will be easy to cure.
They'll probably have exhibits on nano robots, flying cars, invisibility cloaks, as she said. They might have like hydrogen fuel cells, solar panels, and just all sorts of cool things like that give a futuristic look to everything.
Yeah, and well, I think everything's going to be different, as in the people.
Yeah, you already said that.
Like.
In the science exhibition here, I think there will be, if they make like a laser that could bring back dehydrated pieces of DNA that could create new objects of them. I think we could recreate dinosaurs, and then we could put them in zoos. And then I think there will be flying cars, lasers, cyborgs, and lots of houses that turn into a laser beam in a second, with a never-ending food supply and water supply. Not forgetting water supply, and that's what I think will happen in the year 250.
Well, I think that we're gonna maybe run out of oil, and if we run out of oil, then we can't really like oil is a really important part in our lives. So we need to
That might kill us.
preparate for 2050 because we might run out. So we can use solar power, wind power, water power, and stuff like that. So places like Dubai are already saving up all the energy. So by 2020, they wanna make 10% of oil used by 2020. So and maybe instead of using carbon dioxide going into the earth and bouncing back and then causing global warming, maybe we can burn palm trees, and instead CO2 can go back into the trees. So
I've got an idea.
And solar, maybe they'll make solar power cars, and it can save up and run at the same time. So if you run out of fuel by the sun power, you can just use the battery inside the car.
When he was speaking, I just remembered maybe people will have a rocket launcher that could ignite any gases of fire. So maybe they could ignite our ozone layer and then burn all the gases that are stuck inside it, so there won't be any more global warming.
In 2050, I think there'll be big emphasis on green as we're going now. It will be the socially acceptable thing. If it's not green, it'll be kind of a bit of a faux pas. No one really like it.
And everything will be recycled, everything will be made from waste products, so it'll be a massive circle of even more than it is now.
Yeah, so nothing wasted.
At all.
We don't even have rubbish tips anymore. They find a way of using science to molecularly change everything into something we'll need, into water and oxygen and fuel, and the cycle will just keep going. That's what I think.
Go and go and go.
Yeah.
Personally, I expect the particle physics exhibition a lot less viewers and a lot more scraping around trying to find out either why their machine is still broken or why their machine didn't produce anything at all new. And I also expect the math stall, who are currently trying to drag people in with small things about shapes to be rubbing their hands with glee and gloating on how now their numbers are the ones that make everything work. Besides that, I'm sure there'll be now Darwin is 250 and a lot of other stuff similar. I'm hoping for a whole new wave of Neuro stuff, but that's because I like Neuro stuff. I'm hoping for a little bit on neuroprosthetics. It's the bit I'm excited about, and making big waves in artificial limbs interacting with our nervous system. But that's a pipe dream. And I think now I'm delving into what I want to be here rather than what I think will be here. There's likely to be once more a whole load of stalls saying we're a little bit nearer to curing cancer, but we haven't quite got there yet, which I'm sure will be happening for another 200 years as we're always a little bit closer to curing cancer. I think that's about it really. I've run out of ideas and I'm sorry about that.
Brains. I think brains will be it. So, and then people will be able to look at the brains, and then they'll be able to get the information from the brain. So, if we had Isaac Newton's brain, then we'd be able to get the information from Isaac Newton's brain to see what he was thinking exactly. And then if somebody knew the answer to something in a detective story, then we'd be able to see what the answer would be.
I'd probably say like maybe prototypes of various robots designed for various things, like combat, housework, things like that.
I think it would be like different, but not much different.
I reckon it might be on an orbiting space station, because I assume within the next 10 years that people will go up and down to space more easily. There'll be much more opportunity to for people to go up and see the thin blue line of the atmosphere and see the world in a much different way. I mean, I think it could be really amazing for the sort of whole psyche of people to think of being able to look at the whole earth from above and see how delicate it is. And I'm sure we'll be doing more of that. I mean, Rich Garrett was on our stand and he said in the next 10 years we'll be up and down in reusable rockets, and that'll be a normal thing. So I reckon by 2050 we'll have the exhibition in space, we'll be popping up and down, probably to Mars and to the moon, but living in colonies, perhaps not living in colonies in space, but perhaps going for holidays in space. What do you reckon, Pep? You can say your answer?
I think we'll have a lot more
Well, no, just say what were you saying about medicines and stuff.
Yeah. I think there'll be a lot more medicine on cancer. And
you said you'd have more satellites and things?
and there'll be more there'll be lots more pictures and satellites going up into space.